To create a Google form, you must first sign into your Google account. If you do not have a Google account, you can sign up for one. Go to accounts.google.com. If you have used the computer before that you're on, you should see your account. Just select your account and enter your password. When you're in your Drive, so I'm going to go to Google Apps right here, go to Drive, the New button, you can select the New button and go to Google Forms. By default, Google Form has an untitled form. You just click Rename, and it'll open up a text box for you to title your form. I'll call it Exit Ticket. Google Forms are always anonymous, so there is no question for name. If you would like to collect that information, if you're collecting something from your students, it's an exit ticket, a bell work, or a formative assessment quiz, or just gathering information from them, the first question needs to be name, or you will not know who submitted it. There are different question types. For this one, I'm going to choose text. I'm going to make it a required question and hit done. Therefore, here's my title, exit ticket. My first question is name, and it is, see the red asterisk shows that it is a required question. So when I go to view live form, I can see so far what my Google form looks like. I'm going to add another item. Let's say it's a quick little math exit ticket. So I'm going to have my students complete this problem. I can make it text where they just submit their answer like this, or I could maybe do multiple choice and have different options. So let's say 6 and 4 and 8 and 10. Oops. If I want to move them around, I can move my answer choices around. If I want to delete one, I can delete it and then add another. I can make it a required question and select done. So I just continue doing that as long as however many questions I want. I can add different question types. So when I go to add an item, let's do explain the order of operations. So I'm going to have my students do a paragraph text. I'm going to make it required and hit done. I can change the theme, so I can use any of the basic themes here. I can customize the theme. I can select one that has to do with my subject or just leave it as is. There are simple forms, there are lots of different ones to choose from. So select whichever form you want. You can see what it would look like. To view the live form, you click right here and it shows you what your students will see. So required, I have my name, my first question, and the order of operations. I'll go ahead and take it as a sample student. Submit. It shows me that my response has been recorded. I can go to view responses and it will take me to a spreadsheet with the timestamp for when my student took it, who took it, their answer for the first question, and their explanation of the second question. When you go back to your Google Drive, you'll see that your exit ticket Google form has auto-created your response spreadsheet right next to it. So you have your form and your answer spreadsheet. When you are in your form, you can go up to Send Form, and it will provide a quick, easy link for you to provide to your students if you link it to an LMS, or if you want to create a QR code. You could create a QR code, have it on the board for your students to see when they walk in. Since there are so many different types of question texts or question types, there are lots of different things that you could use Google Forms for. It could be to collect the minutes of reading that they do every night. It could be in response to a flipped classroom. If you have them watch or read or get their content at night, they could take a quick little formative assessment. You could have your students could collect information from parents, or it could be a poll. You could keep it anonymous and ask some questions to get conversation going. You could have a form called observations and have the question type be choose from a list. You could put in different student names, so students that have behavior modifications that you need to keep track of, or students that you collaborate with, other teachers on. You could have a list of students right here, and then the next question, I'm just adding it to my previous exit ticket, but this would obviously be a new form. The next item would be a paragraph, and it could simply be comment. So then on your, this is just a form for you. You could have it saved to your desktop or on your iPad home screen, and when you open it up, you would have your students on the drop-down list. You would select your student, and then you would type in your comment and submit. And then at the end of a couple weeks or a month, you could go straight to your response and collect your data or see your data that you've taken over the month on various students. So that's a quick and simple way to use Google Drive. Again, log into your Drive account and go to New Form and get started. There's a couple settings I want to go over real quickly. At the bottom, you have show link to submit another response. If you were doing something like this for yourself, you would want the students to be able to submit multiple times. If it's just an exit ticket and you only want them to respond once, you would uncheck that. Allow responders to edit responses after submitting. That would be if they've been working on something and they're submitting their work, you may allow them to go back and resubmit and revise that work. Publish and show a link to form results. That would probably be something if it were an anonymous survey and you wanted your students to go look at the results to form discussions or a writing piece. But most often, if you're collecting information from a group of people, you would not want that checked because you would not want students to be able to see other students' work or parents to see other parents' responses. So this is Google Forms. If you have any questions, simply Google Forms and you will find lots of information and integration ideas.